Hey guys, it's Brendan Borman back for their 270 video. Today I'll be playing one of my favorite candidates, George Washington, taking on Benjamin Franklin and Gary Vaisasubi. Gary is going to start off in New York and in Youth Vote, where he does have a 30% bonus. And I am going to go up in Big Conservative. Now, I'm also going to go up in Evangelicals, which is a bit risky, taking on a talented player. If you give him a good start, then it can really snowball out in the state groups. Ben Franklin does have 35% high tech and town and gown, so New York is a great core. New York is not a good place to start as Washington, and so I really want to put some pressure on that Texas and California combo. And so really the goal of this is going to be getting California. So how can I set my opponent up to maybe make a misplay, or how can I get an advantage? That's what my goal is. Now, I could double pip here into California, maybe have a clash. I'm not really exactly sure. He is set up to get town and gown, and I do want to pressure in at least Arizona, maybe Iowa or New Hampshire, but I don't know if my opponent is going to double tap California here. So if he does go one pip, that would not be the worst case if we go two. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go into the classic swing states combination of Florida, North Carolina, Virginia, and Wisconsin, as well as pressure. He is going to assume that I am going to get the swing state bonus, and we're going to see what our opponent does. He does pip up into California. So I was kind of hoping he would wait a turn, but Gary did the right thing. So what I'm going to do here with my national group bonus, if I don't spend anything else, assuming that he expands in town and gown, maybe Utah, Massachusetts, North Dakota, states like that, he could risk losing it for a turn. Now, I bet he does defend a couple of the cheap ones, maybe Iowa or a New Hampshire. He does have a $101,000, so if he can roll that 101 over to another turn, that would be a good win for him. But I want to save enough money to where I can go to the fourth pip in California and fully take that over. So what I'm going to do is just spend one pip into California, saving $408,000. And Franklin did go up in Massachusetts. He did spend one pip into California. Now, this is the move of the game here. So I have enough money to go up past him in California to the point of where he cannot match. I can go to the fourth pip, but what good does that really do? It doesn't give me a bonus. He could pivot to Florida now and really put some pressure on me in African American and swing states in North Carolina and Virginia. So what I want to do here is actually go to the third pip, go up in Florida, North Carolina, and Wisconsin, saving $26,000. This, if successful, will give me the agriculture bonus, and I'll just be Virginia away from swing states. Now, I think most players in this situation would assume I'm going to go two past, and so Gary, just like I thought he would, did not defend California, and so we are going to be able to pick up the whopping $80,000 agriculture bonus. Now, normally, agriculture is not a huge bonus in the game, but for Washington, it's a big bonus. So now that I have that, I could actually double pip Texas, but I'm for sure going to go up in Virginia. The other swing states are uncontested, and that's a guaranteed $100,000 bonus on turn number 8. So I'm also going to expand in some of the high-tech states, specifically Maryland and Michigan, that are also African-American, that I could contest or make Franklin have to spend big to get. And then I am going to go one pip into Texas. There might be a clash in Texas. Let's see if Gary lets me have it. So I do have Texas uncontested, and he does go up into Washington. So he will get the $135,000 bonus of high tech. And now California is back into play. So what would you do if you're Ben Franklin? Would you go up in California? Would you try to steal pressure Virginia and Pennsylvania? So what I am going to do is definitely spend in Texas. So manufacturing is a $100,000 bonus for Washington. And so I'm guaranteed to get that bonus even if I lose high tech. I'll keep my agriculture bonus. I will still have pressure there. But what I'm going to do is try to take away... Let's see if I can go up in Arizona. That will help me maybe prevent AA. I believe playing Gary, he'll defend Maryland. Let's go up in Colorado, Louisiana, a couple other states. He is pressuring me in North Carolina. And there's the third pip into Texas, still uncontested. And now we have the ability to get the oil and gas bonus. There it is, $75,000, as well as export. So keeping California was absolutely huge. Maybe Gary was a little bit gun shy and didn't want to go all in that one state. So what I'm going to do here is go up in Pennsylvania and try to steal Washington, which will flip the high-tech bonus if I'm successful. Now, because of the really high spins in Michigan and in Maryland, Gary is likely going to get African-American, and there's not really much I can do about it, but if I can go into states like Illinois and contest some of the Old South, that could make him have to overspin to keep the bonus. And there is no spinnature this turn in California. There's a lock of Maryland and a lock of Michigan. So Gary was playing defense, hoping that I would clash and maybe swing the money back into his favor, but he does not defend Washington, and so Washington takes Washington. And the high-tech bonus, which comes along with that. So I have big conservative, I have evangelicals, Latino, oil and gas, high-tech, agriculture, manufacturing, export-driven, and swing states. That's a lot of bonuses that go toward Florida, which could be a vulnerable state in a normal game. But I'm going to actually pressure New York, which I think might be a little bit unconventional for those of you who are just watching on YouTube. This match is actually for a league inside the 270 Lounge, and one of the tiebreakers is EVs. So I'm going to try to get as many EVs as possible, even though I really like my opponent. Gary's a nice guy. You know, sometimes nice guys finish last. So let's see if we can maybe run up the score just a little bit. Virginia is locked, and we do spread out in some oil and gas states. So nothing changes hands bonus-wise, but now I have to kind of analyze the board here, see if it's worth defending. There's no pressure in Texas. California, we are facing some pressure, but if I can just go past a lot of these blue states that are light leads, I'm going to go up to the fourth pip in Illinois, defend Florida. Better go one more in Florida. And I think I'm going to save a little bit. Not much else I need to do. I have manufacturing. I have oil and gas. Let's go ahead and get into Tennessee. Just in case, I'll put a pip into Pennsylvania. But that looks good. So we have a big spin. Is it in Florida? It is. And a clash. So great defense there by Washington. Gary went for Florida, and it was unsuccessful. And that's just, you know, sometimes the way it goes. Gary felt like he had to make a move. He didn't want to pull the trigger in California, went for Florida. And with that, Old South and African American goes to George Washington. Now, if this was a normal game, I would have no problems with Gary hitting the forfeit button right now. But I doubt he does that. And I respect him for playing this out. Let's go ahead and defend some states like Pennsylvania. I get into New Jersey with my Latino bonus. And then really, you know, all these states are going to be occupied, but there will not be 100 EVs locked in. So maybe if I can flip the town and gown bonus. Okay, there's a clash in Maine, so that will prevent a ballot for another turn. There's a lock of North Dakota. And no big fireworks in Pennsylvania. Another clash. Utah flips, and that is the end of turn number 12, 392 EVs for Washington. I'm going to defend California. Lock Utah and Massachusetts. And I think I'm going to go for Town and Gown without New York. I like to call that reverse Town and Gown. It's actually kind of hard to do, but it's not impossible. Going to defend Illinois. I think I'm going to leave Florida alone, go up in Ohio. And no action in California. Pressure in several states now as Franklin is going to expand, try to get as many EVs as possible. Nothing as far as Franklin is concerned in the Town and Gown states. And Rhode Island goes yellow. Utah holds yellow. And Vermont. So that means that Town and Gown is going to go to George Washington. That's reverse Town and Gown. $75,000 bonus. So let's go ahead and go past into states that I am not yet occupied. And I do have access in New York. You know, I could go for a big steal. But I think I may hold off and avoid a clash. I think I'm just going to go to the third pip. Which some players may think that that might be a little bit of a waste. But if he doesn't spend in New York and spends a lot of his money, it could be a guaranteed steal next turn. So all these states are going to go yellow, except Franklin did spend $50K. I'm not sure where it is yet. There's Oregon, South Dakota, so just entering into West Virginia, some more states. So turn 15, still no ballot. Now I do expect Franklin to consider defending New York. I'm just going to go one pip up and then defend pretty much everything else. So I'm going to lock a lot of these small states in case he's just trying to lock a few EVs. Again, this probably isn't the nicest thing in the world. I do apologize, Gary. But I know if the shoe was on the other foot, you would do the exact same thing to me, and that's okay. So we're going to go up, and it looks like that Gary is going to wait until the next turn to make his big move, other than New York, which, of course, he did spend his entire $750,000 bankroll. And so we've got another turn coming here. I'm going to lock as many little states as possible. And let's see what Franklin does. He does flip Missouri, my home state, so that's kind of annoying. I always like to win Missouri. Definitely going to try to get Missouri back on the ballot. And with all these states being locked in and every state having ballot access, turn 17 will officially be the ballot round. So I have 469 EVs. Here we go. Idaho flips by one. Defense in Kansas. See if we can get Missouri back. We do. Defense in New Jersey. Really unfortunate for Gary. Defense in Oklahoma. And West Virginia, another defense. That'll take us home 475 to 63. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next 270 video. Dark Wave.